Hi, Greg.
Hey, Carrie.
Sophie, come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. Here, go. That's where you're going to stay for now.
Thanks, Greg. I'm glad you pay attention.
Thank you. I know you're always over there in attendees.
I need to use the other email. I assumed it was the email she was sending me to, but must be my other email.
Here I am.
Hi,
There you are.
Hey,
Oh, there's Harry.
Hey, I'm here.
All right.
Now all we need is a few more committee members.
I didn't hear from John at all. Does anybody know anything about John?
John did send an email that said he could come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I missed it. The other thing is, Hugh, we have to, at the top of the agenda, we have to adjourn the May meeting before we begin this one because we didn't do it.
Yeah, so I didn't realize, so please speak up at the end of the meeting if I forget to.
I had my mute button on because my dog was barking, and by the time I got it back on, everybody had left, so.
That's
Okay.
one. Yeah, John came on right at the end and caused all the confusion there.
Yep.
Right. Yes. Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order and then have a motion to adjourn the May meeting. Is that what?
I don't know if you need to call it to order. Greg, how does that work? Because I'm not really sure I know.
I would say just go straight to adjourn, right?
I guess.
Yeah, it'll be
so.
the
I don't
first
know.
thing. Yeah, because it's basically a continuance of the May meeting.
Okay,
It's kind of like we did the budget meetings. It was, we had multiple nights, but it was really just one meeting.
Okay.
but we need a motion from somebody to adjourn. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Then a second, and then
Okay.
all
Okay.
that
Dave
stuff.
should be here because he picked up his.
Yeah,
keys.
Dave is an attendee. I just promoted him.
Okay, good. Yay.
Here comes John.
Yay. Hi, John. Nope, not yet.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
John.
John. Hi, Laura.
In progress.
All right, Laura's here. Is Dave there?
So I
Dave,
see,
He's muted.
he's on mute.
yeah, I see him on the participant list, but muted and no camera, which is fine, but
Well, he's not muted anymore.
Can you hear me now?
yes,
Beautiful.
great.
Can you
Thanks.
can you see me?
No.
No, just have your name.
Huh.
Now we lost his voice.
David? You on?
Well, I am, but somehow the camera won't work.
Well, here, my,
And then she froze. While we're waiting for Dave, I forgot to do the official adjournment for the May meeting. So can we go ahead and do that? Can somebody make a motion to adjourn the May meeting and second it, and then we'll approve that?
I so move.
Great,
second,
great. And I assume we're all in favor. Any objections? Not hearing any. Okay. Ah, Dave, there you are. There you are.
just leave it.
Well, I can't see anybody else.
You're not
There's a
missing
lot of-
anything.
Feedback.
Well, I've got 3 devices on, and between them, I guess I'm okay.
Okay, you good? Well, I think, Dave, you need to mute one of them.
I don't know what I did.
Okay,
Well,
Yeah,
This other one is muted.
but it's,
Huh?
there's feedback.
Oh, yeah, that's because there's sound coming out of it.
I don't know how
You
to
should-
mute the computer.
I don't
I'll
think
mute
the
the phone.
computer. If you're not going to use that, then you should just turn it off. The one the other one, the other device should just be turned off or.
Yeah. I'll do that. Well, all I've got is a picture of John, and I don't know quite why that would be.
You want a picture of me?
Oh,
I think it's the view, it may be the speaker view. Okay, Dave, can we proceed? Do you think
Yeah.
you're okay?
yeah, go ahead and
Okay, again, your sound is a little quirky, so speak up if you really need us to hear something. Okay, so
Okay.
we calling this meeting to order, and Carrie, you have the attendance.
All set.
Okay, but the first thing we're gonna do is recess our regular meeting and go to the public hearing. So I guess, Greg, are there any public attendees?
There are no attendees from the public.
Okay, so we'll go ahead with the public hearing. We will now conduct the public hearing for the purpose of setting the sewer use charges for residential, commercial, and industrial properties for fiscal year 2022. And I'm supposed to read the legal notice. Town of Groton Water Pollution Control Authority charges for use of town sanitary sewers. Notice is hereby given the public hearing before the Water Pollution Control Authority of the Town of Groton for the purpose of setting the sewer use charges for residential, commercial, and industrial properties will be held on June 8th, 2021 at 5:30 PM at a virtual meeting on the Zoom platform. At this hearing, all parties owning property against which the charges are to be levied shall have the opportunity to be heard concerning the proposed sewer use charges. A copy of the proposed charges are on file in the Groton Town Clerk's Office, Fort Hill Road, and in the Public Works Department of said town, Groton Long Point Road, and are available by request during business hours. So now I believe I turn it over to you, Greg Hanover. Is that correct? As Public Works Director?
Yes, sure. Just so if anybody's watching, the
Comments?
proposed sewer use fees for FYE 22 are $34.50 per month for residential and $0.055 per cubic foot for water consumed for each industrial commercial user, with a minimum of $34.50 per month. These are the same fees that were charged this past year in FYE 21. So there's no increase in the proposed fees for FYE 22. And that's all I have.
Okay. And so again, I'll just double check that nobody from the public has joined.
Nope, there's nobody from the public.
Okay. So then we have no public comments on the fees, and we'll come back to this as an agenda item later in the meeting. So for now, the public hearing, oh, well, I guess, do any of the WPCA members want to comment now? No. Okay, so the public hearing for the purpose of setting the sewer use charges for residential, commercial, and industrial properties for fiscal year 2022 is now closed. And so now we'll return to our regular meeting. Sorry, I just have to get the agenda for the regular meeting. There we go. Okay, so I assume we have no citizen petitions?
No, we do not have any.
Okay, and so then the next item is the approval of the minutes from May 11, 2021. I looked at them and they looked fine. Anybody have any comments, or does somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I move
I
to
make a
approve.
motion to approve.
Second,
Great, thank you. Any objections, please speak up. We're all in favor. So the minutes are approved.
Well, maybe we need a comment about the fact that last time we merely recessed the meeting instead of adjourning it. We fixed
No.
that this
we fixed it.
session. Should we maybe put a notation that the adjournment was long delayed, but nevertheless happened?
I was assuming, so Carrie can correct me, although have we lost Carrie?
Looks like we have.
I
But
was,
but there is a the end of the meeting minutes does say the meeting was recessed at 5:51. No motions were made to adjourn. So the
Yeah.
meeting minutes are correct.
right,
Well,
and I was assuming, Dave, we did the adjournment while you were getting your.
No, I heard
you-
that.
Okay,
Well-
so I was assuming that will be the first item on the today's meeting minutes.
Okay, that sounds fine.
All right. And then Carrie just texted me. I guess her computer crashed, so she's restarting.
Okay. Well, should we wait a minute for her, or?
I think we settled that, so we can move on, right?
Yeah, we can go on. She can always watch
Okay.
this.
All right, so I assume we don't have any communications and bills.
No,
Um,
none.
And no consultant reports this meeting,
No,
and changes to sewer use list.
we had none this month.
Okay. And an attorney's report.
None.
Okay. So I guess we're up to the Public Works Director's report.
Okay, yeah, I do have a few items. The first is Hugh, you had asked last time about 3 Water Street in downtown Mystic. That was the 2 buildings that were demolished for that really large building that's been put up next to Sif Bakery.
Right.
And the sewer use fee was properly discontinued for those 2 demolished buildings when they were demoed. I did check the record, so we did get that one right. So there won't be anybody coming back for a refund or anything like that. So I know you'd asked about that, so I just want to let you know about
No,
that.
I appreciate it. That's one less confusion for the
Yep.
future.
Yep. And then I do want to report on the Beard Brewery. Harry and I did go out and meet with the owner last week. And just a few things that he was meeting that afternoon with his engineer and contractor about installing a flow and sampling manhole. So he's going to get back to us with a schedule on when that's going to happen. We went through some of the details of what that consists of. And he's working on his miscellaneous industrial users general permit. He's trying to get that in because that he has to put one of those in for us. So he's working on that. And then, you were just kind of chatting about what, he's looking at doing some side streaming. He's looking at a couple different options there to bring some of the real solids. He's having it's expensive for him to truck it away, but that's what he's looking at doing. He was kind of, we were just kind of chatting. He was surmising that maybe the reason that, we got that initial one-time slug was that somebody just opened up one of his big, huge vats of bad beer, just let it all go out at once versus, slowly metering it out. And he said, he said, they shouldn't have done that. And that's probably what kind of tipped us off to this whole thing. But nonetheless, I think, we are still continuing to work, and we're going to start, I think, ramping up the pressure a little bit to keep him moving along now that, COVID's over and everything else. So I don't know, Harry, if you wanted to add anything else.
Well, I was wondering, are we going to sort of calculate the bill we owe based on what they're flowing now and the assumption that they were putting the same bad stuff in before we could monitor it?
I didn't catch all of that, Dave. I'm sorry. You're asking if we're going to build them based on the flows and the industrial surcharge?
Based on the past flows as well as present flows.
Well, right now they're getting billed on their water that they're actually using that's going into the facility, which is, obviously more than they're discharging because they're using some of it for their beer. But we don't really have an accurate way to measure, the BOD, CODs, that type of thing. So it would be difficult to just come up with a number to charge them for that. So that's why we're, having them put this sampling manhole in so that we can come up with a reasonable surcharge fee.
So we're not going to bill them for real usage until they get everything set up.
Correct. They're just being billed on water use right now.
Yeah. That's important.
Sorry, Dave, you're breaking up so much we can't make out.
I think he froze up.
That they have been stressing our system by putting bad stuff in all along, and we don't know how much or when, but I think we should try to make ourselves as whole as possible would-
Okay, now we've lost him entirely.
Yeah.
And Carrie's never made it back.
No, I haven't seen her come back.
Did you hear my comments that I just made?
We heard the last bit about making us as whole as possible.
Yes. That was the essence of it, yes.
Okay, I mean, I'll let Harry maybe comment on, what the impacts have been, if he knows. And then whatever else he might want to say about our visit with them. Harry, you're on
Unmute.
mute.
You're muted, Harry.
Got
Got it.
it. Well, as far as the strength of what they're discharging, the plant, if it's discharged, properly and not in a slug, then it doesn't upset the plant too much. It's only when there's a fast, dump of this very high strength wastewater that it affects the plant. So, I think as they move forward and they'll just need to continue to dose it in slowly. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah.
And so, Harry, was that your expectation after meeting with them that they would be releasing slowly and
Well, I think it was more that they were going to get rid of the nasty stuff right from the beginning and not be discharging that. They were going to collect it off to the side and have it hauled away. There's some farming operations that could use that. There's I don't know, it sounded like some sort of a distributor who kind of collects that stuff and dispenses it to people who might want it. So rather than us getting slugs, we would be getting maybe weaker stuff, and his actual sort of industrial process waste would be being removed and hauled off somewhere else.
Yeah. Are we going in the end to be on top of exactly what they're doing? It sounds to me like they're doing this and then doing that, and we don't really know except what they tell us.
So there's a meter going in, right?
Yes, flow meter, yeah.
Right. So I mean, if they have a flow meter and we can sample it, and then it's in their best interest to side stream, because otherwise they'll just have to pay for a higher charge for that to
Right.
us. So, as long as we can monitor the flow and the strength of it, they'll do their math and decide whether it's more cost effective for us to take it or for them to collect it and send it somewhere else. And I think once that's decided, then we, if need be, we'll have to address some way to meter the flow to the plant rather than just dumping it. Make sure they have enough capacity to store some of it somewhere.
Does
It
this set it? Sorry.
It seems to me that we need to continuously meter the flow to the plant, from the plant.
Right, and I think that's what this manhole, this monitoring manhole is going to do. It's going to track the flow 24/7 of what's coming from the plant as far as volume. And then depending on what sampling is set up, they'll take representative samples at different times. And we can determine the strength based on that.
Okay, good.
And will this affect other breweries that are operating in Groton as well? I mean, will they be using the same kind of a metering system, or how's this work moving forward?
Well, I think that's a good question. I think there's another brewery that's coming in, but it's quite small and doesn't discharge the volume.
I see.
And just from what I know about him, the fellow has another brewery somewhere, and he's pretty familiar with the strength issues. You know, he's dealt with it before, so I think I expect he'll be a little more proactive with us with that.
And just historically, did Beard not face the same issue when in Stonington? I mean, they've been there for so many years.
I'm not sure what happened at
Okay.
Stonington.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, fine. Just wondering. Yeah.
There is the brewery in Groton, up
By the
near
skating
Bridge.
rink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Outer Light,
yeah.
is the name of it.
Yeah. Do we think everything's okay there, or do we need to?
They don't discharge to us. They discharge to the
City.
city plant.
Right. That's Groton City.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so Beard really is the only one in the town
Right, so far.
so far, right? Okay,
Well, there's that other one in Mystic, but again, it's a small one. The one that's operating out of the Factory Square. Can't
Yes.
remember the name of it offhand.
Isn't that like a mini micro brew pub or something?
Right, I guess so.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Barley Head.
Yeah.
And I think
Quality
that's
Head.
probably, it's even smaller than the one that's gonna go into the old bank building. If I'm not, I could be wrong, but I think that's the case. I think it's mostly for consumption on site. You can buy growlers, but I think most of their business is people drinking right there.
My understanding too. Well, thanks, Harry.
Welcome.
okay. Is there anything after Greg, after Beard?
Just,
Life after Beard?
Life after Beard, yeah. Harry and I are going to be attending a pre-bid meeting tomorrow with potential contractors for working for EB. It's going to be a meeting at the plant. This is for the shortening of the outfall line that there probably will be done, this fall, winter. So they're having a pre-bid meeting tomorrow, so Harry and I will be there. And that's all I had.
Okay, great, thank you. And so, yeah, I agree with Dave that, until we get the this monitoring in for Beard, so we really need to keep on top of it.
Mhm.
Sorry, it's more work
What
for
is-
you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll
Where
move
does
on to the, sorry, go ahead, Dave.
What?
You're breaking up. I can't understand at
What?
all.
What is that of the cheese operation?
Oh, okay, yeah, good question. Greg, any information about the cheese place next to Beard? Are they still a concern, an issue?
We're working with them too, and I can't recall if the manhole was going to do both them or if it was just the brewery. I don't remember. But yeah, you need to work with the cheese place too.
Uh-huh. Need to work with it. Okay, so you're not actively pursuing it then?
Well, we are, but we haven't been as much discussions with them as we have with Beard. They've been kind of like just tagging along because they're a very low volume user.
The water usage is really just known for the whole building. Is that correct, Greg? And
No, they
another-
have they have two separate meters for each business.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. And so both businesses are currently being billed for their sewer use based on the water usage.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And then we did go back and back charge them basically when they started, so almost 2 years. You know, I think I told you guys that a few months ago. They paid, you know, or Beard paid quite a hefty bill.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else on those topics, or we'll move on to the Water Pollution Control Facility report? I don't know, Harry, are you gonna cover that?
Yes, I can do that. So I assume you all have the report. Flows and treatment are kind of normal. I would say normal is a good way to put it. We're doing well on our nitrogen. Finally. So yeah, so for May, we discharged 121 pounds per day, where the limit, our limit was 153, so we're well under the limit now. So we had replaced two grinder pumps in May. So we also had 7 businesses are now registered under the new MIUGP permit. And there's 4 more registrations that are in process. They still have the open position for the operations supervisor. And I think we went out to, we advertised it once, and I'm not sure that did we get anyone this last time, Greg? I heard that it went out.
I think it's still open.
It's
I
still
don't think
open.
it's closed yet, yeah.
Okay.
Is this operation supervisor thing something that's a problem statewide or nationally, or is it just some reason that we have a problem?
I don't know that it's national. I don't really know why we aren't getting many applicants. You know, that we are asking for a class 4 license, or, you know, a class 3 with a good chance of being able to get the class 4. You know, I know there's a limited number of class 4s in the state, so you know, I don't know. I really don't know what's keeping people away.
I do remember hearing that El Grasso has a program for, I think a student can graduate with a class 3 license, I think.
I'm not sure that it's a 3. I mean, I think they can graduate and be able to take a class 1 license.
Oh,
Yeah, I think for class 3, you need 90 CEUs. Yeah, not 90 CEUs. So that's I think difficult. I don't think they can get those at the Grasso Tech.
so maybe just class 1. Yeah, okay.
So our pump station renovations are, you know, they're moving along at, you know, normal contractor pace. And I think that's it. I mean, everything at the plant's functioning, and you know, flow's keeping up and processes keeping up. I think that's it for the plant. If you have any questions or concerns.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I don't have a chairman's report. So I think we're done with the reports. I don't think we have unfinished business, so we can move on to the new business. The first item we need to do is to set the sewer use fees. So, I guess, is there any discussion about this, or does I guess a question, Carrie, I see this resolution. Do I need to read this resolution, or essentially we can just make a motion to approve the,
I'm not exactly sure, Greg. I think at this time they take a vote. Somebody makes a motion to vote on the,
right?
what you just said.
Yeah, we need to do the, okay, so does somebody want to make a motion to set the fees, the $34.50 per month for residential, 0.055 per cubic foot of water consumed for industrial or commercial with a minimum of $34.50.
Okay, I'll so move, but I just wanted to point out that the date, there's an extra 8 at the end of the date, so that probably should be changed. But other than that, but I also wanted to confirm my understanding that basically nothing is changing as far as the rates. Is that right, Greg?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay.
There's no change at all on either residential or commercial.
So I move that we approve the proposed sanitary sewer use rate schedule.
Second,
So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so it's passed unanimously.
And I'd like to say bravo Zulu to the operators. It's always nice when prices don't rise.
Okay. So I don't know, Carrie, do you need me to actually sign these things and get them back to you, or?
I believe we do, yeah.
Okay, and can I just drop them off in the office there, or are you still not open, or how's this
You
work?
can bring it to the plant. Greg, is that okay with you, or?
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, we're fully open. Actually, we don't even require masks if you're fully vaccinated now.
We're 7 to 3 at the plant, so.
Okay, so do you want me to bring them to the plant or to the
annex.
annex?
Is the annex easier for you to drop it off there?
I get in my car.
I mean, there is just that one typo that John pointed out. We should probably correct that, Carrie, then send it to Hugh.
Okay.
So-
Okay, so I'll wait for the new version. Okay, so now the next item of new business is this WPCA's role, the miscellaneous industrial users general permit fees. So Greg, you wanna?
Yeah, I mean, John brought up, a good question last time about the whole variance process and everything. And, this is kind of new for all of us. So I included in the packet kind of what Harry had put together, a nice summary of how he does his process of issuing the permit up at the top, but then down below it has, if a variance is required, kind of the process to go through. And then I also included, and I know it's a large document, but the actual permit itself from Deep. But the portion that's really of interest here is section 7, which begins on page, I think it's 33. And it's the public, the sewer authority's powers, and then it talks about the variance provision. And I mean, the way Harry and I are reading this is they're essentially if somebody wants to get a variance from the limits that are in this permit, they just would apply to you to get that variance, and Harry and his staff would have to look at it and determine if it's going to be detrimental to the plant. If it's not, then there's almost no reason not to grant this variance. If kind of, you have to kind of trust staff, I guess, on that one. If it is going to be detrimental, or if, we see some red flags, then you wouldn't approve it. There really is no case of whether it's a hardship or not. It's just what the impact is going to be to the plant's operation and its permits. Is what you would really would be approving it in a variance. Is that kind of summarized, Harry? And you have any other
Yes.
things to add to that? Yeah.
No, that's pretty much it.
Seems fairly clear. I
Yeah.
have to confess that when I got that today, it was, I think it's really quite long, that I didn't I didn't read it.
No, I
wasn't-
wouldn't
you know.
recommend you. I've read most of it,
So-
and it's like, it's hard. But
It's-
if you do go
it's
to that section
dense.
7,
Yeah, I think I'll check that out anyway, but that's the only section that we're gonna have to deal with, or may have to deal with at some point in the future, I'm presuming.
correct, unless, in the future, 5, 10 years, whatever, we want to change the fee schedule for whatever reason, then you would have to deal with it again. But for the day-to-day operations, for everything except for the variance, yeah, it really doesn't impact, you guys.
Yeah. Happy to leave it to you.
Okay, yeah, I didn't read the document either since it just.
No, I
came.
know, you just got it today. We unfortunately, Carrie was out last week, and then we had a major crash of our internet in town yesterday, went out for the whole day
Oh, God.
because of that accident, I guess, over on Thames Street or something. So we just got out today. So yeah, just take a look at that. And, next time we meet, if you have any questions, we can, discuss it again.
Okay, and you said there were, whatever it was, 4 that were 7 that were already approved and had submitted. So apparently the process seems to be working okay.
Right, there was only that one so far that needed a variance. That was Medtronics. So they're completed, and there's 6 others that didn't need a variance, that have registered and, paid their fees. And there's 4 more I'm working with to get their permits in.
Okay, so I guess, again, we're all learning, so if anything comes up, you'll bring it to us to deal with. if we need.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, well, is there any other business?
I just like to, I think, is it the case that we don't have another meeting till September?
We can do that, unless something comes up, like if somebody needs a variance for some reason. But, if you guys are in favor of, we'll just wait until September, or unless something pressing comes up, that's fine. And then
I think that's been the process. I think
That
that's been the
means-
process in the past, but my other question, basically, I was leading up to is, would it be appropriate for us to consider returning to in-person meetings rather than doing this on Zoom?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Once, yeah.
I mean, I'm
think-
assuming everybody's vaccinated,
Yes,
Yep.
and these don't work very well because so many people have trouble, connecting up and everything. So
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
wondering if that would make sense to sort of plan to have the next meeting in person. I don't know if
Maybe we could have a meeting outdoors where more separation could be implemented. Or in a larger room.
Yeah, we could check to see if conference room 2 at the annex is available on Tuesday nights, because that is a larger room that we could spread out more if you're concerned with that.
I guess the other question then, we've been meeting at 5:30. Is that workable if we're meeting in person, or do we need to go back to a later time?
6:30.
6:30 or 6, I suppose it could be. I'm fine with 5:30 in person.
Me too.
I'm indifferent.
Okay. And
What
then,
else do I
Laura,
have to do?
It was your problem initially, wasn't it? That we changed it?
No. I didn't make a problem.
okay,
It was probably my problem. I had a couple council meetings that were right at 6:30, so we changed it.
Oh. And
Okay.
that's not gonna be a problem now?
No, I mean, now that I have Harry, he can take over if I have to really be at a council meeting.
Hmm. Okay,
Okay, so, do we need to do anything formal in terms of, planning to meet in September? Unless there's a need for us to meet previously, like if somebody needed a variance on one of these.
well, I'm a little concerned about how the thing with the beard people is going. Are we going to need to talk about that in detail, or will you guys just negotiate with them and get it done?
Well, that's the plan, is to negotiate with him, get it done, get this thing built. I mean, we can send out email updates if, we get major milestones accomplished over the summer.
Mhm. Yeah.
If that would be
Well,
helpful.
I suggest we leave it to you to decide whether we need a meeting or not. If the beard stuff is just going along and everything's fine there, we probably don't need a meeting.
Well, okay, that's fine, that part of it, but I just wanted to point out, we normally do these things on the first Tuesday of the month. That's the day after Labor Day, and also I happen to be I'll be in Maine that day, so if we could do it the second Tuesday.
I think it might be the
Pardon me?
second Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it's the second Tuesday.
Oh, second Tuesday, okay.
So
Well,
we should be good.
somehow it's on my, okay, well, that'd be great, then that'd be fine.
Yeah, we moved it for Laura to the second Tuesday. And
All right.
it's working
Do whatever
fine, I
you want.
think.
I don't care. Whenever you want to be, I'll be there.
Okay, so, you'll check on rooms and we'll presume that we can meet in person in September. And at 5:30 on the second Tuesday.
Okay.
And otherwise, well, June and July, I mean, they're on our calendars, and so we'll assume they aren't going to happen, but they're there in case.
Yeah, they're on the public calendar, so we just would cancel them, a few days before if we're not going
Right,
to
in
in July and
case,
August.
in case anything comes up with either beard or whatever, and otherwise.
Mhm.
Okay, so now this time we need a motion to adjourn so we don't actually carry the
Don't
meeting
move.
over like last time.
Second.
Thank you, John. So John and Laura seconded, and so.
Second.
Dog approves too.
Yeah.
Adjourn. The vote, dog has the vote.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you,
All right.
everybody.
Thank
Well,
you.
everybody have a good summer.
You too.
Thank you,
You too.
bye.
Thanks.
Bye.